Memory is important to Christians too, isn't it? A little bit later in the service, we'll be receiving the bread and the cup. In the sacrament, as we call it, the Lord's Supper, the sacrament of the Eucharist. We are remembering, aren't we? Do this in remembrance of me, as Jesus tells us. The scriptures are read repeatedly in church, in our classes, etc. The hymns are sung. The word is preached. In all of these things we do, we are remembering the holy history, aren't we? Tony Campolo, some of you have probably, undoubtedly heard his name. Wonderful Christian. He's an ordained pastor, but also he's a professor of sociology. And oftentimes, where he teaches, he's asked to perform weddings. And Tony is always happy to oblige, to do this. But the couple, listen to this, the couple must always agree to use the traditional vows. As you know, nowadays we can have anywhere from conservative, traditional type vows, all the way to really contemporary vows and everything in between. But he always insists that they use the traditional vows. Why is this? What's his reasoning? Well, he says this: as the couple is coming forward, coming before the congregation for their wedding ceremonies, each couple that happens to be in attendance in that ceremony, be they dozens of couples or be they even hundreds of couples, each of them during that ceremony is silently reciting with them those vows. In a sense, they are repeating their vows over again. In a way, each wedding service reaffirms the marriages of all those in attendance. Isn't that an interesting way of looking at it? Memory. Memory brings that to us, doesn't it? The first point I want to underscore this morning is this: some things in life ought to be remembered. Some things ought to be remembered. Part of the reason for us coming to worship each Sunday is because our memories tell us who we are. Not only as a people, but as individuals. Our memories are important as we come into God's house. You know, there was a short story by Charles Dickens some years back called Tales of a Chemist. Now, of course, you have to realize this comes out of a few years ago. But in this rather futuristic tale, Tales of a Chemist, this famous chemist is tortured by the difficult, infamous memories that are very painful to him. Something in the past he just can't forget. And it's very painful as these memories keep coming forward. And so he decides to undergo, but then, of course, was something rather new, shock treatments to obliterate his memory, to eliminate it totally. He went through the shock treatments. His memory was obliterated. But however, very soon he discovers something. The obliteration of his memory has some very, very dire consequences. There were some things, of course, that he was glad to forget. But now he has no past. No past.